Okay, overview for week 3. So day 15 through 18. Day 15 was a hot hike in the desert of the San Gorgonio Wilderness. I didn't actually know that the San Gorgonio Wilderness included desert, so it was a surprise. But it was a good day. So glad I had my umbrella. And luckily, we hiked 22 miles, and there was a river that was kind of pretty deep into the hike, and so it was wonderful because I was pretty overheated by the time we got to the river and threw on my trail dress and waded in the river. So nice, cooled me off. I did that a couple times. Had lunch and had our first big river crossing of the trail, and I actually ate it. There were like these fallen trees across the river that people were crossing over, and it was kind of slippery. So, of course, in front of everybody who was eating lunch by the river, I fell backwards, and luckily my pack caught me and I didn't injure myself at all. But sounds about right. Falling on my first river crossing. Hopefully that's not a trend, but all in all, a great day. Hiked 22 miles. The next day, day 16, was a long hike through said riverbed. I think it was like 8 miles. And with all of the snow this year, the water washed away a lot of the trail, so it was kind of like a maze. And at that point I was hiking by myself, and I was very happy to have my gut hooks app because it showed me the way. But I think I did pretty well. Looked for signs of the trail, which if you're hiking and you see some stacked rocks, that's usually a sign that that's where a trail is. So I looked for the stacked rocks, used my app, and I'm getting kind of winded. I'll stop over here. So anyway, kind of a confusing maze of a day, but still a good day. Ended up in the mountains, kind of in an area like this with a bunch of big trees, San Gorgonio, and got really cold and it was really foggy. So everybody at the camp, it was a pretty big camp that night, gathered around, had dinner, had a bunch of laughs, and the people I'm hiking with are really great and hilarious. So good end to a good day. And day 17, I hiked 25 miles because I wanted to meet my parents in Big Bear and have a nice bed to sleep in. So originally I was going to meet them in the next morning, but I decided my body felt pretty good. My body actually felt great. So I pushed into town, got in right when the sun was setting, and got a hotel room, and they joined me later on that night. So that was really nice to catch up with them. And while I was hiking too, there was a group, I guess it was maybe a school group or something, led by an adult, and they were just sitting by the trail, and they asked me some questions and wished me luck in getting to Canada. So that was really, really, really nice. It lifted my spirits a lot. And so all in all, day 17 was a really good day. And day 18, I spent most of the day in Big Bear with my parents. So we got a nice big breakfast and caught up with each other. And what else did we do? Oh, I resupplied and did laundry. And we went to get some treats at this local coffee shop I think it's called Copper Q. Really good. If you're in Big Bear, you should go there. They have homemade marshmallows and quiche and everything that is good. Like a nice coffee shop. So we did that, and then they dropped me off at the trailhead, and I felt good enough to hike about 9 miles in to a water source. And I got a little emotional while I was hiking because I am now donning my grandpa's wings. representing my hike for the Wounded Warrior Project. Part of the reason why I'm hiking is to benefit that group. So got a little emotional just like having this on my pack, but a good emotional. So I was ugly crying a little bit on the trail, but then I came upon somebody and that ended, and started having a great conversation with this nice woman from California who was hiking the trail. But anyway, so yeah, it was a good day. I took it a little bit easy. I didn't want to hike too much because I hiked 25 miles the day before, so almost a marathon. But yeah, I'm just letting my body speak to me and just kind of tell me what it wants or does not want to do. So it allowed me to hike almost 10 miles yesterday, which was day 18. And I'm in day 19 now, so feeling pretty good. I'll give you an update. I think I'm going to take it easy again today, maybe do like 10.2 miles to, I think it's called Little Bear Camp or something, with a water source. So I will update you soon on the rest of the week. Okay, overview, day 19 through 21. Day 19, I took it easy and only hiked 10 miles. Really beautiful scenery around Big Bear. And I found a campsite near, I was hiking through a burn area for a while, and so I found a campsite in that area. And hiked solo and had a dinner with a friend. She stopped by and then went on. So pretty easy day. I did some yoga, ended early. Day 20, I also hiked solo again and through Deep Creek, well, near Deep Creek Hot Springs. I hadn't reached it yet, but I hiked about a 20-mile day and scored like the best camp spot ever by a river. Secluded in the shade. So I ended early that day too. I think I got into camp about like 3 o'clock, so I got to relax and wash my clothes just with water. So it was a really great day. Day 21, I pushed the miles because I wanted to get to a water source. So it was a hike through the desert. I passed up Deep Creek Hot Springs. Okay, I'm going over a little stream. Passed up the hot springs. I wanted to soak in the morning, but by the time I realized I passed it, I was a mile up the trail, and so I decided I did not want to go back. So unfortunately, I didn't get to do that. But it was a really hot day. Was very thankful for my umbrella, but it got windy, so I couldn't use it all day. And then the end of the hike, about the last 5 miles, was around Silverwood Lake, which is really beautiful. And I ended up camping there with a lot of people. And yeah, it was a good day. The only thing, okay, so I have 2 unfortunate things to report. We're keeping it real here. So I have a shin splint on my right leg, unfortunately. So luckily, I've had shin splints before, not luckily, but I know how to take care of a shin splint. So I had a wrap, so I wrapped it, and I really massage it at night too. So hopefully the pain will subside. It's feeling better already. And I have my first blister. So not too bad though, day 21, first blister. So I'll take it. It's not that bad. And luckily I'm used to blisters because I used to be a dancer, so the pain isn't so horrible. I think I'm desensitized to it. So I will keep you updated on that in week 4. Okay, also want to mention, a lot of you have been asking about the Wounded Warrior Project link and how you're not able to find it. So if you click the little arrow below this video, it'll expand to some links. One of them is the GoFundMe, or you can go on GoFundMe.com and search PCT walk for, or Pacific Crest Trail walk for warriors, and you'll see my picture, and that is the one. So if you're interested in donating, that would be amazing. And also doing kind of like a quote challenge. So if you put an inspirational quote in the comment section as you're donating, I'll pick my favorite one and read it on here. Good morning. I am going to give you a food tour for the day, and obviously I'm still in my tent. I usually have breakfast while I'm walking, but in this case I had to somewhat prepare something, so I'm just going to eat it before I start. And this is a resupply in town. I'm also going to do this for my resupply that I sent, because when I resupply in town, the options are usually a little less healthy, which is fine because life is about balance, right? But this will be, I guess, a little less healthy. And then my resupply that I send to myself, or I have my parents send me, that I prepared before, is more healthy. Like I dehydrated my own beans and lentils and all that stuff. So this is the in-town resupply version of a food tour for the day. So for breakfast, I am having, so glamorous, a rice cake and peanut butter, and I think the rice cake is like honey nut flavor. And I love this peanut butter. I got it in Idlewild and I still have some left over. It's in a bag, so it's really great, and it's organic with probiotics and flax. So I was stoked to see that. Really convenient on the trail. So that's what I'm having for breakfast. And then when I'm walking in, kind of in the morning snack time, I will usually have some sort of like trail mix that I make up. And then I also have like a bar, and right now I have Kind bars. Luckily they had a huge pack at the store, so I went to Stater Brothers in Big Bear to resupply. And then I'm gonna go over lunch later, but when it gets to snack time later in the day after lunch and before dinner, I'll usually have some sort of bar, like a Lara bar. And then these are really great if I need a boost of energy. They're Pro Bar Bolt like energy chews, and they're a little pricey, but they really give me a boost of energy if I need it, especially if I'm climbing. So that's snacks and breakfast, and I'm about to start my day. Okay, it's time for lunch. Wanted to give you a little lunch tour. Actually, it's not rocket science. It's like a normal lunch, just with a really great view. So I'll show you what I'm looking at right now. It's Big Bear Lake with San Gorgonio and San Bernardino Mountains in the background. Can't beat that. I usually take this is kind of gross, but my shoes off for lunch to air out my feet. They're pretty dirty right now, but I wash them every night to avoid blisters. But yeah, it feels really good to kind of like air my feet out after hiking a number of miles. Having tuna and everything crackers for lunch. And then I went a little crazy in town and got a bunch of chocolate, so hopefully it won't melt as I go on. But also I start cold soaking, since I'm cold soaking my food, cold soaking my dinner at lunchtime. So I'm gonna do that. I'll probably have something called, what hikers call a rom bomb. So it's ramen, and I got a gluten-free rice version and mashed potatoes together. So we'll see how that goes. Apparently it's really good, and a couple brothers that I was hiking with, made a rom bomb, and they had a fresh habanero pepper. and they put the whole thing in there. So I thought, oh, that's interesting. I don't think I'll put the pepper in, but I'll try the ramen bomb. So we'll see how that goes. So the dinner situation, I wanted to show you what I'm having for dinner. I already kind of talked about it during the lunch portion, but I am currently outside of Big Bear. It looks kind of like a burn area actually, but this is where I'm gonna camp for the night. Nobody's really here yet. Managed to find some shade. All right, and you can probably see I am in the middle of setting up my site, but I'm going to show you what I'm having for dinner first. So, let's see. Okay. So, I'm having a ram bomb for the first time, ramen bomb. So, have Thai kitchen noodles, which are gluten-free. These are garlic and vegetable. I put some instant mashed potatoes in a bag so I can divvy them up because I think I'm gonna make 3 ram bombs for this stretch. Might add in some garlic. This is garlic parmesan. That might be weird. I'm not sure. I'll see if I am inspired to add that in. And so I already did that, and it's in my Bot 700. And wanted to also show you my food bag, Z-Packs, which I went over in my gear videos, but it's pretty full right now. This is about 5 days worth of food, I think. I'm still refining how much food I'm eating a day. So the last stretch I bought like way too much food. So I really honed that in this time, and hopefully I'll hone it in even more. Hoping I'm close this time, but I don't want to run out. So that would be really bad. I think the general rule is pack an extra day's worth of food. So that's what I'm trying to do now. Gear update for week 3. First, I'll show you where I am. I am at Silverwood Lake, which is so beautiful. Quite a difference from the desert I was just in. A really hot day today. Okay, so gear. Unfortunately, my beloved ex officio pants have a hole in the back. Actually, luckily it's in the pocket. So when I was walking around Big Bear, I put my phone back there, and that's what I've been doing for a while, and they just like fell through and they were like inside my pants, so I dig them out, but luckily there's no hole on the outside, so I'm still wearing them. I still love them very much, but unfortunately there's a hole. So I can't use that pocket anymore, but that's okay because I'm really running these things into the ground. For the snow, I did not use my ice axe, so I'm going to, I sent that home, but gonna probably be using that for the Sierras, and the microspikes came in handy. So microspikes, yes, ice axe, did not use yet. My gaiters might be retired. They have huge holes in them, and I'm trying things out without them, and so I have a little bit more dirt in my shoes, but not that much. So we'll see. I might retire those, but I'll let you know. And also, when my parents were visiting, I switched. They brought my whole possible gearbox, and so I switched out my Patagonia Capilene sleep pants with the Smartwool black ones, because the Smartwool ones are not see-through, so I can like walk around camp and not be embarrassed about my pants being see-through. And that is it for week 3.